Okay, this is going to be the first of 12, I think, videos with the audio recording from a meeting Scott Donaldson and I had October 18th, 2019. This is the audio from the Integrity Bureau of the New Orleans Police Department. October the 18th was almost a year after the death of our son in New Orleans that was not investigated at all by going through a solid glass 12th floor hotel window. The Integrity Board is essentially the, well, whatever the Integrity Board is, but they're supposed to investigate police misconduct. And October the 18th was a week after the collapse of the Hard Rock Cafe. And the very beginning of the recording is cut off, but I'm basically saying I'm going to record this. She says she's going to record it, and I said, because I learned my lesson, not recording with Coroner Dwight McKenna. Coroner.
Absolutely. We actually do the same thing, so just make sure we get the gist of the meeting squared away. Okay. You good to go, man?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good deal. Alrighty. So as I introduced myself to you all earlier, my name is Commander Sabrina Richardson. I am the second in charge of the Public Integrity Bureau here at NOPD. This is Captain Simon Hargrove, my counterpart. And you know Miss myself from the Independent Police Monitor's office. So we got notice that you all wanted to meet with Chief Westbrook. And the way that we do these are anytime a citizen or a complainant requests meetings with the chief of the bureau, I meet with them first. And also to their schedule they've been in and out of town a lot with our consent decree phase that we're in.
Right.
Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's something that has to be done. So that's just that. But so that is what we're doing here today. And thankfully, you guys were available to be in town for it. So we will meet with you all. And then once we have this meeting, we'll see where we are with that. And if you all still would like to meet with Chief Westbrook, whether it be in person or via phone conference, then I will make sure that that is arranged and set up prior to you guys leaving today.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am? So I will open the floor up to you all and... Oh, hold on, let's
chair.
I gave you forewarning. I told you, Mr. Donaldson. I told you, Mr.
It's not only low, it's a...
Well, I told you, don't trust the low ones.
Well, we just want to know how this process works. I mean, you've received the majority of my complaint. I have more complaints as it's going on, but it was 62 points long. And, you know, what I got back was my original complaint to Bond Seal's office included a few others that then we decided to just narrow down. And so it was Detective Scallan, Sergeant Bulling, oh golly, I've forgotten their names, but it's in the complaint. And so what I received from you does not include, well, it includes Marshal Scallan and Bulling. And so I'm just wondering, first question is, this case is closed from your office, but it doesn't include these other two that the complaint was against. So,
and the other two you're referring to who?
Well, let's find the complaint. The complaint is,
Can you?
I can take care of that, man.
You can look for our copy of it.
Just tell us what you've done.
yeah.
Just tell us what you've done.
In regard to your complaint, so the complaint was investigated, it's assigned to an investigator. The investigator for your particular complaint was Sergeant Arlen Barnes, correct. And so how it goes is we take the initial complaint, we get what your allegation is. Once we have that, then they pull any evidence that they have from, whether it be the police report, video, whatever they have in relation to the allegation. And then they begin taking statements from the accused officers as well as any witness officers that were involved in whatever that incident is. Once they take the statements, they compare that with what they have in regards to the evidence, and then a conclusion is drawn. Once the conclusion is drawn, it goes from the investigator to their lieutenant, from their lieutenant to myself, from myself to the chief, to Chief Westbrook. Once she signs off on it, then we forward it up to the superintendent, and then it's fine. The disposition is final once he signs off on it.
So your response to my complaint was because it says something on page 2, Scott, in conjunct, basically in coordination with the Louisiana State Police, they found through the Snapchat that Cassidy Carter and Fahad Khan were in the room. And that is not even really what my complaint was. Is this where it is? The investigation revealed Detective Scallan, under supervision of Jonathan Bulling, was assigned to conduct the follow-up investigation into the death of your son. With the assistance of the Louisiana State Police, who provided support to the investigation conducted by our department, Detective Scallan and the initial responding officers were able to identify persons who were with the victim, Fahad Khan and Cassidy Carter, at the time of death. Through the use of search warrants and social media accounts, Detective Scallan was able to corroborate the information gathered from the witnesses, which placed them at the incident location. The Orleans Parish Coroner officer classified the death as a suicide. That's not even what my complaint was. I mean, we know that those two were there. I mean, they were the two that were interviewed. You don't really need subpoena Snapchat to find that out. But that kind of surprised me.
Let's see, so it's 4 pages. Providing summary of the investigation. And once I get, he's going to bring me the actual complaint.
Yeah, you'll find out that that's not even on there. We know that they were there.
Have that. Well, the other two that you were saying,
It's Gabrielle Lewis. She's a teeny young. I mean, I'm not.
oh no, I'm talking about the other officers, ma'am. That you
That's what I'm
referenced.
saying. Gabrielle Lewis.
Okay.
And
Matthew Malvo.
thank you, Matthew Malvo.
I believe Gabrielle Lewis was a police.
She was a recruit at the time.
So, I mean, my problem is, among many, but talking about Gabrielle Lewis, she was set up, poor thing. But she was, as a person who's never gone to a death scene before, left with interviewing the two witnesses that are in the room about a kid going through a solid glass window 12 stories up. You know, they came to the scene 30 minutes after 911 was called. Scallan told me that the video from across the street of Seth going out the window from the 2-lane pavilion apartments showed Seth going out the window at 5:47. The 911 call, suicide attempt, is at 5:52. You know, he's been on the concrete for 10 minutes before a 911 call is made by
They call it,
a witness.
he's. My problem with this, Commander,
Yes, sir.
is I'll tell you, when you go back and interview people after the fact, things change. I can tell you that. I'm a physician and I've been down this road in other circumstances. In the moment, Mr. Scallan did not believe this was a suicide in the moment when we first met with him.
My complaint truly is not even against him. I mean, but I can't complain against people we don't know their names.
Can I?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
In the moment, Mr. Scallan told the homicide guys, he recorded us, and we didn't start recording this stuff until we ran into your corner. It was a pitiful human being. Mr. Scallan said, this was a fight. He had a bloody nose. The other guy had a bloody nose. Scallan had a bloody nose. He told the homicide guy show up. Guys, look. So he's got a bloody nose. Someone's out the window. Something happened here. And then Mr. Scallan has it calling somebody in the homicide division to advocate in the lobby for this to be opened as a homicide. And we turn out it's someone out of the coroner's office. But that we are asked to lobby for this to be investigated as a homicide in the moment. You know, we're a month out. It's profoundly disturbing to me.
Yeah.
Profoundly disturbing. And, you know...
He tells us the way things are, there's just nothing I can do about it.
That's what Scallan tells you.
Yeah. Okay, now, I think... this is our concern. This is my... Amy does most of this work. I don't have the heart for it. I can't do it. I mean, I just can't. But,
I have those two names. Go ahead, sir.
Filed our lawsuit that
State
day,
police
the
are
next day the Hard Rock collapsed.
State police, in Scallan's secondary report, which only came out in February when Katie Moore, WWL, started asking for public records. First report didn't show up till December.
the subsequent report didn't show up until it was asked
Till February.
Okay, 3 days after it was asked for, that's when it showed up. 3 days when it was asked for, there's a lot of after-the-fact manipulation of, we're after the moment.
So there are three Louisiana state, or I don't know, 3 or 4.
There's a
State,
number of
whoever
Louisiana
Long
state
is.
police there.
The Long is the state police, the only one that's named in Scallan's report. Mm-hmm. They are the first responders on October 28th at Saratoga Loft. They are with Fahad Khan and Cassidy Carter in the lobby for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of.
Yes.
So these state police show up.
Yes, sir.
They don't have to wear cameras. They don't have to wear cameras. They're unemployment by the New Orleans Police Department, and these guys aren't wearing cameras. We know Fahad Khan is a drug dealer, and that came out from Scallan later because they could finally get into the Snapchat. There's this comment, Scallan says we never looked into his car.
No, he didn't say that. He said we never found his car.
Okay, that could be communicated the same way. Okay. But the car is
Never.
on the videos.
In the video, Fahad Khan is saying to police officers, is my car okay here? Is my car, he says it twice, on just a short thing that we see from Kate Moore.
You got a man that's out the window. You got 2 witnesses. And I watch TV, too. Separate those people out. You get stories uncorroborated together. There was none of that.
Scallan showed up and separated them and took Fahad's phone because he was Snapchatting to people in North Carolina. At the time, he's there with Louisiana State Police.
Snapchat in front of the New Orleans, Louisiana State Police. They're able to conform. They're able to put their story together. And if you look at the WWL, which is a compilation of a lot of things, you can see them sorting out the series of events right in front of you. Verbally right in front, like they're colluding together to get these results. And so this failure of proper protocol, which I understand from law and order, you separate these people. There's cocaine in the room. Lord, you can hold them just for if you're suspicious enough, you can hold these people and just give them some time and see who says what. None of that was in that critical moment, like we call it the golden hour. In that critical moment,
They took some cash or something.
something happened. Did they go to his car and get some money out of it because they know he's a drug dealer? Or did they just allow him to collude together? But in that moment, Fahad Khan is Snapchat. He's twice the size of me. My son, he's twice the size of my son. So you had a golden hour there, and you blew it.
And Arlen Barnes knows every bit of that. This is 400,000 words long. He knows every bit. And I know that Arlen Barnes or Theo Kent or Marshall Scallan or nobody has interviewed Stephen James. Stephen James lived in the unit below, room 1101. I met him last night.
He
is going to blow your mind because
We'll end this one there.
he's not been interviewed.
To be continued in a minute.